Are these horrible reboots ruining the legacy of classic shows we grew up on? Listen, I get that we're living in the reboot era, as the youth like to refer to it. I'm done expecting originality. To put it simply, I'm no longer surprised by the news of a show's reboot and its outcomes, which is usually not at all like the original. Though sometimes, well, very rarely, the reboot ends up being decent in certain circumstances. Regretfully, I can't say the same about the Good Times reboot. Yes, Netflix's reboot of the family sitcom Good Times is out now. And boy, do people hate it. But for you to understand this reaction, let me give you a little backstory. Television has long been a mirror reflecting the social and cultural landscape of its time. Among the myriad of shows that have left an indelible mark, Good Times stands out as a groundbreaking series that not only entertained audiences, but also challenged prevailing stereotypes and shed light on the struggles of African American families in urban America during the 1970s. Premiering in 1974, Good Times was a spin-off of the popular sitcom Maude and was created by Eric Monty and Mike Evans. Set in the Cabrini Green housing projects on the south side of Chicago, the show centered around the Evans family, particularly James and Florida Evans, and their three children, JJ, Thelma, and Michael. One of the most significant aspects of Good Times was its portrayal of a working-class African-American family facing the everyday challenges of poverty, racism, and social injustice. At a time when television often depicted African Americans in stereotypical roles or relegated them to the sidelines, Good Times provided a rare glimpse into the lives of a resilient and loving Black family striving to make ends meet in a society plagued by systemic inequalities. The character of James Evans, played by John Amos, was emblematic of the struggles and aspirations of many African American fathers during that era. He was a proud and hardworking man who held steadfast to his principles, despite the myriad obstacles that stood in his way. Through his character, Good Times tackled issues such as unemployment, discrimination, and the erosion of inner-city communities with nuance and authenticity. Equally important was the character of Florida Evans, portrayed by Esther Roll, who served as the emotional anchor of the family. As a devoted wife and mother, Florida embodied strength, resilience, and unwavering love in the face of adversity. Her presence on the show challenged prevailing stereotypes of African American women and highlighted the vital role they played within their families and communities. However, it was perhaps the character of J.J. Evans, played by Jimmy Walker, that left the most lasting impact on popular culture. With his catchphrase, J.J. became an iconic figure of 1970s pop culture and a symbol of Black youth rebellion and creativity. Despite criticisms that his character perpetuated stereotypes of the lazy and unintelligent Black man, JJ also represented the aspirations and dreams of many young African Americans striving for success in the face of limited opportunities. Beyond its portrayal of the African American experience, Good Times was also notable for its groundbreaking representation of social issues, such as housing discrimination, police brutality, and the impact of economic inequality on marginalized communities. The show fearlessly tackled these topics with a blend of humor, poignancy, and social commentary, sparking important conversations and raising awareness about pressing issues facing African Americans at the time. Good Times was more than just a sitcom. It was a cultural phenomenon that challenged stereotypes, celebrated resilience, and gave voice to the struggles and triumphs of African American families during a turbulent period in American history. Through its authentic portrayal of the Evans family and its unflinching exploration of social issues, Good Times left an indelible mark on television history and continues to resonate with audiences today as a timeless classic that reminds us of the enduring power of hope, love, and family in the face of adversity. This reboot, it's horrible. The show is full of stereotypical characters and imagery that undoubtedly irritate fans of the original series, which was a groundbreaking 70s-era sitcom, revered for challenging preconceptions about a poor Black family surviving in the Chicago housing project. Netflix describes the animated Good Times as a spiritual sequel, with the fourth generation of the Evans family from the original series. At the beginning of the new series, the patriarch, Reggie Evans, a brash and dim-witted cabbie, sings a duet with a cockroach to a portion of the original Good Times theme. Reggie is so sensitive that his clients refuse to pay him, which makes him struggle to make ends meet. Matriarch Beverly Evans's breasts leak through her shirt, letting her know when her kid is nearby. Dalvin, the baby, has been kicked out of the house due to his alleged involvement as a drug dealer, armed with a weapon and sporting studs in his ears. But a quick question, did Seth just want another Stewie? Anyway, when his activist older sister Gray goes on a hunger strike to protest, she looks like a toddler going through an African famine, emaciated and surrounded by flies. A firefight breaks out when Reggie brings his creative son Junior to a dilapidated clinic to pick up medicine that will help him concentrate in class. After baby Dalvin's visit, Beverly makes sure he doesn't leave their apartment without his weapon. A lot of it feels like the most messed up version of Adult Swim I've ever seen, with graphics that occasionally look like stereotyped cartoons pulled from the most offensive Reddit threads. Using the creative license that comes with animation, the program presents surreal and even terrifying moments. At times, this succeeds, and other times, it just feels strangely unsettling. Even the premiere episode of The Cosby Show is shamelessly plagiarized in one spot. There's been backlash from the NAACP over the show's trailer. The Hollywood Reporter, Kyle Bowser, the senior vice president of the civil rights organization's Hollywood Bureau, wrote that it's obvious that Netflix decided to market the show based on an interpretation of Black life as an otherized experience, replete with abhorrent beliefs and behaviors. More than 3,700 people have signed a petition asking people to stop watching the show. But even with all the wrongs, I think there are intriguing meanings hidden within. While Junior and his dad visit a dilapidated clinic, Gray overcomes the shame she felt after her first period and finds liberation from patriarchy. But they thought that the daughter splashing her menstrual blood onto the walls and into people's faces was peak comedy. Junior, meanwhile, questions the necessity of taking medication to enhance his mental focus in school at the cost of his creativity. This is partly because of the tie-in to the original Good Times, which is marking its 50th anniversary this year. It was the first television series to feature a two-parent Black family and give a human face to those living in low-income Black areas. This is a complete reversal of the original intent of Good Times, which was to commemorate the tenacity and perseverance of the Black community while exposing the public to the real struggles and challenges that Black people endured during that era. As usual, after making numerous allusions to the original in the pilot, it doesn't appear very tied to the old framework. It displays a family who loves each other through all the chaos, but it doesn't have the same mission as the original series. Sometimes, humor isn't the only thing you need for a successful or entertaining adult animated cartoon. You need heart and soul, too. It would have been easier to create the show from the ground up as an original series, without the need to recreate a beloved TV show. And even with the former Good Times executive producer Norman Lear, who worked on the show until his death in December at the age of 101, and basketball superstar Steph Curry, creator Seth MacFarlane of Family Guy, is also an executive producer. Famous actors and actresses such as J.B. Smoove, Jay Farrow, Yvette Nicole Brown, and Wanda Sykes provide the vocal roles. I have to agree with the fans that the new series seems to be just another recycled program trying to pass itself off as the old one. Missing, though, are the original's groundbreaking themes and the feeling of purpose that grounded the show. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Did you like this new reboot? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. It helps the algorithm or something. Thanks for watching.